I asked today's real finfluencer if he could sum up his secret to success. What would it be? He said, don't take it too seriously and be yourself. Wait. Before we dive into the conversation with today's guest, welcome to The Real Finfluencers, a podcast born from our original video series spotlighting financial professionals who are using video to grow their business and their influence. Here's something you should know. Most of these guests aren't Idea Decanter clients. They've built their digital presence from the ground up, and they're here to share exactly how they did it. I'm your host, Laura Garfield, co-founder of Idea Decanter, and my goal is simple: help you discover strategies you can actually use, steal what works, get inspired, and find your own unique brand of finfluence. Now let's get into it. Welcome, Kevin Thompson, founder of 9i Capital Group. The dude played Major League Baseball. He's a real finfluencer. If you aren't following him yet, you're going to want to smash that follow or subscribe button, whatever platform you're on. Kevin, thank you so much for being with me today.
I appreciate the opportunity. I mean, the weather's getting a little bit better outside. I think we just had a false fall. I mean, we were down from 105. Now we're in the 80s, but now we're going to be back to 100 on Sunday. But other than that, hey, life is beautiful.
Let's start with the debate over what the definition of a finfluencer is. A real finfluencer, because we want to talk about the people who are putting out positive information, not those bogus, get out of your 401k, put it all into crypto, whatever those kinds of influencers are. You're a real finfluencer. What does success look like for you when it comes to the videos you create?
Well, success, like I've always said, is relative, right? I started, and again, I don't consider myself a finfluencer. I honestly don't even know what it is, to be quite frank. But people say, "Hey, Kevin, we love what you're doing," which that's what's the goal. That's what's the win is. It's not about having tens of thousands of subscribers and a lot of bots on your platform. You're starting debates. That's not what it's about. But I started this because I wanted to be able to connect with my clients on a deeper level. So I said, "Hey, let's build this platform. Let's have this to where we can have direct access to our clients and our clients," because people love videos. People don't want to sit there and listen to a webinar. They just love videos. They're on YouTube. So why not go where the eyeballs are, which a lot of my clients are. So I produce content, and that's exactly what I did it for my clients. And then it's been slowly growing. We're doing a lot. Of course, people love podcasts, so we do a lot better there. But ultimately, small bits and pieces just push towards my clients. And now it's becoming further than that. People are on LinkedIn and Facebook and all those other things are starting to subscribe to the channel. And one thing I've noticed is that it's growing very slowly. But if you're growing slowly, you're doing it the right way, because if you're just going to get 1,000 subscribers overnight, well, you know what types of subscribers they are. They're basically there for the clickbait, or they're not going to be there for long. You have to continue to create content that's going to be trying to be engaging towards that audience. And it's very, very difficult to do so.
So I talk all the time about the ROI of video. When you're creating videos mainly to connect with your clients, to put Kevin in front of the people who already love him more often, what do you see? What dots are you connecting there for ROI?
So ROI, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're in this because you're trying to get another revenue stream, then you're in it for the wrong reason. In my humble opinion, the revenue will come if you create great content, and if you're trying to create revenue first, then you're gonna burn out, and you're gonna say this is dumb, because you're not gonna see anything. Maybe for a year, maybe for 2, maybe for 10. The people that you're seeing that are having extreme success on platforms have been there for a long, long time. So if you're just expecting to come in and say, "Hey, I'm gonna create some content and create a couple of videos," then don't waste your time. You have to really enjoy what you're doing. And for me, this is nothing more than a passion project. I don't expect any money from it. But what I do expect is me having the ability to connect with my clients, engage with my clients, and engage with other people that are my clients' friends. Because think about it this way. What's the easiest way to get a referral? in this business. It's going to be the warm referral, right? Hey, call such and such, such and such. Well, isn't it easier for them to say, you know what, my advisor, here's his contact information and here's a channel. You can see what he's about. It's easier to do it that way versus just, here's a cold lead and all of that. It's an easy way to get warm leads, in my opinion. And that's where the real ROI is.
Yeah, I mean, that happens to me all the time too. And I feel like someone comes to you, they've been watching your videos for a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years. And the first meeting is like closing a deal because they walk in saying, I feel like I already know you.
100%. It's all about creating the content and not doing it in a way where it's controversial. Because those people out there are like clickbait. Oh, here's the newest, hottest topic. Let's put it out there. And I don't like that. I'd rather have true, genuine content and bite-sized pieces. I think that's the best way to do it.
Speaking of true, genuine content in bite-sized pieces, I feel like I get my steps in by watching some of your videos on LinkedIn. You've got this whole series, the Monday Morning Minute, these Friday 5 things. Tell me a little bit about your thinking behind this content.
So I do a lot of reading. I mean, when I say I do a lot of reading, like I'm either in a book or I'm studying for something, right? I'm trying to get away from a lot of that TV and everything like that. So either I'm listening to a book or I'm reading a book or I'm studying right now I'm studying for my EA. So when I read something and I find it engaging, I share it. And that's exactly what that is. It's about sharing some content and how did I take that content in that weekend and producing some content basically from what I'm reading and just putting it back out into the audience. And that's all that is basically just sharing what I'm reading and trying to educate my followers. And that's what it's about. Positivity breeds positivity. And when the people on LinkedIn, and like I said, you mentioned Twitter, I'm wanting to run so far away from Twitter right now because it's absolutely just a smorgasbord of just garbage fire. Little positivity never hurts anyone.
I heard recently a projection that the financial advisor of the future is going to be one part advisor, one part life coach. And I really got that vibe off of some of what you talk about in your content. I mean, I listen to you and I think, oh, like this is how I make my life better. And it had nothing to do with money. It was much more about mindset.
That's what I always talk about, like mindset, psychology. That's a lot of the books I read. It was about like ethics and just morality and how things work around just how things work from nature. Like the first thing I said to you was like, you're like, hey, Kevin, this feels like a great experience and all this stuff. I said, don't let it be that way because at the end of the day, we're all the same people. There's no ups, there's no downs, there's no, this person's higher than me or lower than me. There's none of that. We're just people existing. And that's the way I live my life. And back to what you were saying is this, I truly believe that from a standpoint of who we're trying to become, if I can just create that, you said one fourth life coach. No, I think it's going to be 3/4 life coach because at the end of the day, everything else can be automated, right? But you cannot automate someone. It has a death in the family and they need to talk to somebody about getting something done. A robot, even though in the future it can possibly do it, but right now it's not happening. Like Maverick says, he says, hey, not today, right? You're not going to replace me today. Well, eventually it may happen, but as of today, it's not happening right now.
I love to serve up a time capsule, a little blast from the past. So let's hop over to your YouTube channel. So on your YouTube channel, I stumbled across your My Why video. And I got to tell you, Kevin, we got onto this call and I felt like I already knew you and I'd never met you.
Yeah.
And B, you're doing exactly what the best advisors doing video marketing are doing, and you get personal. Tell me a little bit about this snippet and if it was, how hard it was for you to share. Was it easy to talk about this?
No, yeah. So what's funny is that I did a video with my former financial advisor. He explained exactly what happened. He's like, Kevin, I woke up one morning and I was headed to the office. And next thing you know, the Fed and the SEC was raiding our offices. I was like, whoa. And then I called him that very same day because I saw Alan Stanford on the TV, and it was mind blowing. And he walked through the entire thing. It was one of the best episodes I think we've done. And I apologize that it's not necessarily in your face. I may need to just
We'll find it and put it in their face.
Yeah. I'll put it to the top. But I think it was a fascinating episode. But no, not hard to talk about because that's exactly what our industry's fit. People say, oh, I got to be a fiduciary or I got to be this. And now there's a battle of fiduciaries and a battle of suitability and a battle of insurance agents. And I wholeheartedly believe that all that is just nonsense, to my opinion, because at the end of the day, you can't legislate ethics. People are going to be either be ethical or not. And just because you call yourself a fiduciary doesn't make you any more ethical than anyone else, because we know what Bernie Madoff, he was a fiduciary. So at the end of the day, nothing's going to change. It's just that I wish people would just get over themselves, quite frankly, and just do what's right for people. And again, I'm not blaming my advisor for anything because he was doing what was right for me, but he just got caught up in a bad situation.
But I think that, when I heard your story about you being a professional baseball player, about being the victim of a Ponzi scheme, I immediately thought, Kevin took what could have been like the worst thing that could ever happen to him in his life, and he turned it into a career of helping other people. And it was really powerful for me, for you to get so personal.
Yeah, and I did that because I didn't want anyone else to feel the way I felt at the time. And I knew that the only way, instead of being a victim, I can be the hero of my story. And that's exactly what I did. I said, you know what? Let's go learn about this industry and make sure that doesn't happen to anyone else again. And that's just my story. That's my goal, is to make sure that people understand what they're getting into. And if they have any questions, like I love this about my clients. Kevin, I got this from some person. What do you think? And I'll just be brutally honest with them. Okay, these are the good, these are the bads, and we can make a decision on which direction to go. I love that.
So get to the nitty-gritty for me.
Let's go.
How much time are you spending creating video content in your typical week or your typical month? And how are you pushing it out?
So, like, for example, the Monday Morning Minute, I could do it on my walk. Like, if I have an idea, boom, let's do it on the phone. Just one or two takes, boom, call it a day. Or I can do it on my computer. It takes probably 30 minutes on a Monday morning. And just, I use Canva, go to Canva, put my music to it, and put the disclosures on there, shoot it out, goes through Canva. Canva's amazing, by the way.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I just put all my videos through Canva and format it, send it out. And if there's on Tuesday, I might do one or two podcasts. I have some guests coming on. We'll have our conversation. Our conversations don't last more than 15, 20 minutes. I shoot it out to my video guy. My video guy edits and does everything, gets them out for that Thursday, and then another one for the following Thursday. And a beautiful thing, and I'm going to shoot this out to Pod Squeeze. I use Pod Squeeze. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pod Squeeze. Are you familiar with Pod Squeeze?
I am not, but I love a good recommendation.
Yeah, so Pod Squeeze. You can upload your video to Pod Squeeze. It creates all kinds of content, newsletters, LinkedIn messages, tweets, the descriptor, the titles, keywords, boom, all there right for you. You can just start picking and choosing what you like, copy and paste, or change some things up, and now you have your content.
The upside of AI. It's time to start exploring if you are not already.
If you're not using AI right now, I don't know what you're doing, because there's no way. Think about this. If you're not using AI, your video content and production will take hours versus 30 minutes, or if that long.
One last word besides AI, tip to an advisor out there who has been wanting to do video but is not yet doing it.
The main tip I would say is, first, don't expect a return. Don't think about money. Think about something that you're trying to get out, and think about just going towards your clients. Ask your clients what they would like to hear and produce that content, because that allows you to get out all of the noise and say, hey, you know what? What would my clients like to hear? You produce it, and they're going to listen to it, and they're likely going to give it to other people to listen to. That's how you start gaining an audience, because I will tell you this. One thing I'm going to pride myself on is no one's going to leave my firm saying that Kevin didn't touch us or Kevin didn't call us enough. They have all these different avenues, and I make sure that I'm always in front of them, because you know what? If they're not going to hear it from you, they're going to hear it from someone else. So you got to make sure they're hearing it from you.
I always like to say, if Kevin can do it, you can do it too. Kevin, thanks so much for being here today.
Laura, thank you for having me. I appreciate this, and I hope this resonates with some people. I'm just here to give you some light and some content. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate you giving me some time today.
Awesome. And if you're looking to build your authority and grow your practice with video, but you need some help, don't hesitate to check out Idea Decanter. Oh, one more thing. If you're not already part of Idea Decanter's Real Finfluencer community, now is your chance to join us. Head to ideadecanter.com/join, and you'll be in. You'll get early access to advisor video tips, invites to exclusive events, and behind-the-scenes insights that you won't find on Google or even on ChatGPT. Whether you're just video curious or already knee-deep in content creation, this is the place to grow your influence with video. Don't miss out. And thanks so much for listening to The Real Finfluencers.